is in a red coat. And so you may be saying, which side is it? We've got well, to most of us, just to our left, but on the south, we've got green, who are Rangers, they're loyalists. Those are Americans who did not think we should be fighting for independence and volunteered to fight alongside the British Redcoats. And then in blue, we have congressional troops as Wayne's Light Infantry. I think both of these groups are the forerunners of larger contingents. You'll see some additional loyalists now coming down the field. All those in green, we think maybe a third of the people who lived in the colonies were not in favor of independence and formed regiments to fight alongside the Redcoats. And that's what's represented here in green. Looks like Wayne's Light Infantry and the blue congressional troops did not expect this to happen. The forces of the Continental Congress, I'm going to call them congressional because, as we just discussed, the people in green are Americans who did not think they should be fighting for independence.
Yeah, I'm going to move down to the center of the field. Hopefully catch
You'll
some
see now,
Virginians.
because the 18th century, those soldiers were well trained and well supplied, particularly when compared with the congressional troops. There was no manufacturing really in the colonies, and so they had to get supplies for uniforms, weapons, etc., from allies like France or other friendly disposed countries like Spain. And everybody expected that the British, being professional soldiers and being the army of the country with all the manufacturing, would win the war in about 3 or 4 months. And actually, the American Revolution lasted in total about 8 years. Just pretty amazing when you think that we believe that maybe only a third of the people who lived in the colonies were actively in rebellion at any given time. A third were loyal to Great Britain, and a third were neutral. You hear the bagpiper out there with the Scots troops. You'll see some women out on the field. Generally speaking, you would not see women on a battlefield during the American Revolution. They would, if the army was traveling, they would have been with the baggage, or if it was known that a battle was forthcoming, they would be back in camp. Looks like these were caught kind of unexpectedly on the march from one place to another. You would definitely have seen women with the armies and in camp. A certain number of the men were allowed to bring their wives with on campaign. I know in the British Army they were expected to serve as nurses in the field hospitals. And in return they were fed, they got their rations. And so you would definitely have seen them in camp, less often on the battlefield. We also do deploy some of our women who are portraying soldiers' wives out here just to act as 21st century first aiders, to make sure none of the injuries that you see are actual injuries or of any sort, but are actually all pretend. You'll see both sides are basically lining up in a straight line. Many of us have heard often that the Americans were using rifles and never stood in a straight line and spent the entire war hiding behind rocks and trees and shooting at the British with their rifles. And a lot of that is actually not true. The weapons that were available in this time period are muskets and rifles. The musket is a smoothbore weapon. It's the military weapon of the period. It uses an undersized ball that can be loaded and fired quickly. And these are all muzzle loading, so that means you should be able to load and fire about every 15 seconds, so at least 4 times a minute. With the musket, it's also made to hold the bayonet at the end for close quarters fighting. The alternative weapon is the rifle. The rifle is more accurate because the rifling in the barrel puts a spin on the ball that gets it to fly further and straighter. However, it takes much longer to load because you have to ram the ball down against the direction of the rifling and make it fit very tight in the barrel. It might take you a minute to load your rifle one time. So, and it doesn't hold the bayonet at the end. So, in that 1 minute, a musket man can fire his musket 4 times. So that means the musket, even though it's a little less accurate than the rifle, can get way more lead flying down the field, and you're more likely to stop the opposition the more often.
I think there's a band over there. We're going to go look at it. There's Paul Nelson in all his glory. Giving a talk to a relatively large group. And where is this band? Oh, they must be practicing. again, please?
Oh, that my ancestor was a drummer in the fourth. Yeah, great. His name was Peter Shumway. And he was a drummer in the 4th Massachusetts.
That's it.
Very
So
good.
in keeping with family traditions, Nikki has decided to turn to Nick and become a bass drummer in the 4th Mass.
Okay. Come one, come all. Beginning of the Tomahawk throwing. There's our bagpipe player. In the purple is the 13-year-old who won yesterday's competition. That's what usually happens.
I don't know who I'm cheering for. I'm cheering for nobody.
Let's see what she can do.
No.
You don't want to cheer for your dad?
No.
You want to cheer for my sister?
No.
Cheer for Mr. Rhodes. Mr. Bang.
You're gonna do her pacing.
Everybody in our group. Except for
1,
Mr.
2,
Norton.
3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, I guess where she starts.
What everybody doing?
Yes, yeah, I would talk about
Mr. Marshall. He's the only one
We'll do one more here. Yesterday she nailed 2 out of 3, but stuck them all, which was unusual. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, her Goonie Raccoony, or just Raccoony.
Or princess.
I call her Raccoony.
Ooh, got it.
Who did that?
Okay,
Oh.
now we got a husky guy. Let's see what he can do.
Oh, there's a... Until everybody gets a turn?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, usually each person, they figure out how, where they want to stand and stuff like that.
Yes. Is it computer?
Ooh, very good. Okay,
Yeah,
move on to uniforms, clothing, and kid games. Kids games? I don't know. We got another one around here somewhere. Yeah, some guys over there.
Are there games? Are you going to show me the games? Come on. MJ, there are games.
Watercolors,
Kids games.
Don't let it go. You got to keep chasing it.
Can't walk.
The hoop game.
You know how to use it? Okay, we have a person that knows how to use this. Watch her. Watch the purple. Oh, maybe.
There she goes. Oh, there's another one.
You don't feed it. You got to roll the top.
Sorry.
Oh, look at her. She's going. She's going. That's how you use it. That's how you use it. This is the last one. I'm going first.
Okay, get that. You know, Mark? You know.
Sawyer did one. You guys can take turns.
I know.
Yeah, you want to try? Okay.
And fun was had by all. Something else coming out of this.
You know how to do this? You want to show them how you do it? So this person here, work together. Okay, but you gotta back up.
Come over here.
Which other game?
Try.
You gotta go out in the field.
This? Try.
All the way out, no, all the way out in the field. That's where you do this.
Hey, Alice, you're doing good. Wow.
Not quite.
In small clothes would step forward. Okay, these two soldiers are in standard 18th century male attire. We have one soldier in a pair of trousers or long pants. Our other soldier is in knee breeches, which were very common that time. They're fall front breeches. They're a little roomy in the back, so think riding a horse. That works very well. They both have on long-sleeved shirts, which was common at that time. And then their waistcoat. Now your waistcoat, they wouldn't be considered properly dressed at all if they didn't have that waistcoat on as well. Okay, they both have on neck stocks, which were, instead of a kerchief or that, was also common at that time. So which side are they on? Which side did they fight for? Did they fight for the British or did they fight for the Continental Congress? Any guesses?
British.
Any what? Color, so I can hear. Okay. They're saying they're both the Continental Congress. Anybody else? All right. I'm going to ask them to start putting on their regimental coats. Yeah. No, not yet. All right. Now they're both in their regimental coats. Both of these are early war style with the longer, slightly longer tails. The dark blue coat, he can actually fasten those tails and link them up so that they're out of the way. Or if it's colder weather, he could actually unbutton the back too and hook them together. So that would serve as a little more protection over during weather. Okay, the one uniform is dark blue, faced red. The other uniform is red, faced blue, is how it was referred to. Okay, so whose side are they on? Any guesses? Holler. They're both British? Okay. So, okay. One thing that was common back then was for the musicians to have the opposing colors of their regiment. So I'm going to ask Dave if he's the musician for Bill.
Nope.
Okay, Bill, are you the musician for Dave's regiment?
No.
Oh. So you're in different regiments?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What else distinguishes their uniforms? Any ideas? Okay. Yeah, you can put your caps on. They're both, yeah. Oh, okay, you gotta put that on first. Okay, yeah. All right. All right, they're both putting on their cartridge box boxes with some of their ammunition. One has a little more than the other, and I'll explain some of that later. Does that help you guess which side they're on? What? British? Okay, they're saying they're still both British. What do you think?
He's British. And
Okay.
he's the other one.
All right, what makes you say that?
Because the red coats are coming. That's the British, right?
Well, okay, this is a red coat. All right, where's one of the little younger kids that can read well?
Why don't you pick him who was saying the buttons?
Okay, come here. All right, I want you to look at their buttons. Look at the buttons on their coats.
And look at the
Oh, yeah, okay. What does...
What are those
What
buttons?
do those buttons say?
It's kind of fancy how the letters are all kind of run together, but what do they look like? Yeah, like what's that? What letter is that? And there's an S. So it's
Okay, so say it real loud. U, S, A, A. A. All right. So this soldier in the blue coat is from the 2nd Virginia Regiment, USA.
You're not done.
This soldier, can you show him your button?
This one will be tougher.
Okay. It says Coldstream Guards. So this soldier is from a conglomerate regiment of Brigade of Guards, which is a British regiment. Okay, let's see what other accoutrements we have. Okay, the other clue is his cartridge box has GR for George Royal on it for the king. Okay. All right, now you can put, they both are wearing a helmet style cap, which is going to protect their head. They've trimmed off a cocked hat and put one part of it up on top to be the protection and the decoration. And the British soldiers has some fur and bear fur on the top. He also has on his cartridge box, he has a fuse. It's supposed to have a little light, oh, it's a match case for, said it's a lighting grenades. Okay. I'm not sure I'd want to carry that into battle, but okay. All right. They both have, okay, one has a sword, right? On yours? No, we're both bayonets. Okay, they both have bayonet scabbards to hold the bayonet. So they both carry muskets that would do that. And then they both have, that they put aside here, they both have their canteens and a haversack, which is the military form of carrying your stuff. Okay. All right. Thank you so very much. Okay, go back. And thanks for joining in on our guessing game. That's kind of fun to do that. All right. Let's have our other British regiment. This is Butler's, right? Nope.
That's good.
Don't you smell the horse duty?
All right. Okay.
Smell the horses over here.
First we have two soldiers, and oh, this is going to be another guessing game, maybe. They're not wearing red coats. They're not wearing blue coats. So which side might they be on? Oh, Tim, you come up too. All right. And here's another one in green coats. And they're all green-faced red.